afternoon, my fellow channel watchers on YouTube. This is Rusty78609 in Central Texas, our full-time RV. This is an RV. It's 1:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's hot outside. Well, it's not that hot. It's not as hot as it can be. Right now, it's about 88. Perfect for this time of the year. Perfect. But anyway, I did a video earlier today about my Peace Corps experience in Mongolia back in 1994-95. Anyway, got a viewer responded with a comment that I'll respond to with a video. Why? Because I think it's a good question. And it may help other people that are considering going into the U.S. Peace Corps. Because he says, "Hi Rusty, I enjoyed your Peace Corps video, but what interests me more than the actual experience is what motivated you to embark on such adventure in your late 40s. Please comment. I'm a newly retired physician and glad to be one of your subscribers." Well, hang on there. They're dropping fast. I mean, you may be the only one. So just don't leave me. Stay with me. Though he said he qualifies. He says he's one of my subscribers. And then in parentheses, he says, "though I'm not sure why." Thank you for that limber comment. Oh, you dirty. Anyway, yeah, the subscriber count went to 501 and back down to 499. We're going the wrong way out here. Anyway, enough said about that. Anyway, what motivated me to embark on such an adventure in my late 40s? Well, I'll try to be brief. In my late 40s, I turned 49 in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. On July 14th, 1994, I turned 49 in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Okay? And I've got a little gift up there that some of the Mongolians gave me. It's a little statue of Chinggis Khan, and still have it. I've hung on to it. So, what motivated me to do that? Well, the real history of it is when I was going to college, I graduated from college in 1972 with a degree in a BBA in accounting, Bachelor of Business Administration, accounting major, and subsequently became a CPA and did that for a number of years. But anyway, when I graduated, or right in my senior year, one of the things I was fascinated by was the U.S. Peace Corps. Why? Travel to me just sounded great, adventure, 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 And so when the Peace Corps recruiter came on campus, I met with him. And I could have gone right then. I could have gone right into the Peace Corps in 1972. However, I was married, and one of the rules the Peace Corps has is they'll take a couple, but the couple has to have something that is needed in that country that invites them. Both of them have to have a skill that's usable at that time in that country. Okay? And in this case, my wife didn't have a skill that would be usable in wherever they might send me. And she wasn't a college graduate, and I don't think she cared to be. But anyway, so that kind of held me back there. And then through the years, I got, naturally I bumped around. And 79, I got a divorce. And then I bounced around and got married and divorced, married and divorced. I don't want to go through all of them. You'll doze off. But anyway, and in 1990, about, I was sitting at my house, and I'm thinking, I've done a lot of things. I've made a lot of women a lot of money, okay? And I don't want to do that anymore. This is getting old. And so with that in mind, I sold basically everything I had and moved to another town, and then from there did a variety of things, just whatever I wanted to do, basically. But in 1993, I was living up here in the Texas Hill Country where I live now, and I was living in an RV. I rented it at that time. And I thought about the U.S. Peace Corps. You know, maybe this would be a good time to go in the Peace Corps, see some of the world. You know, a little change of direction never hurts. And I'm not even sure I thought it through that much. I called the Peace Corps. The 800 number is 800-424-8580. I still remember it today. I contacted them, got a recruiter on the phone, and one thing led to another. They sent me back then. It's all different now. It's all different. It still takes quite a while, but it's different. You know, back then they sent you a big packet of paperwork. Now it's all done online, and it's much quicker. Because back then it took over a year to get all the paperwork done, the background checks done, the references in, and all that stuff. And so anyway, I did contact them. I did get the packet of information. You got to have a medical check, dental check, all that stuff, vision, everything's got to be checked out. Did all that stuff, got past all those tests. You know, they did the background check, the FBI background check. I mean, I did my fingerprints to the police department, sent them in, and that got all approved. Everything's going right on along. And so that was in, when was that? That would have been, that was probably June of 1993 when or excuse me, it was May of 1993 when I started the process. And, you know, things go along. They do a telephone interview with you. It takes about an hour or so. Back then they do. I don't know what they do now. And anyway, got through all the hurdles. And, you know, once I'd done that, then the following year I got an invitation. But your question is what made me embark on this mission in my late 40s? And the answer is, as directly as I can get to it, is just a change of direction. I mean, I was searching for something to fill a vacuum, and I wasn't finding it. I mean, my profession was, I was a CPA. I'd been a CPA, certified public accountant, for about a little over 20 years, and I didn't want to go back into that. I didn't want to do it anymore. I mean, to me, it just, I did, even though I made good money, a lot of money actually, it wasn't my thing anymore for some reason. Why? I cannot really put my finger on it. It's a very good profession, honorable profession. You know, the people in it are great people. All of them I enjoyed. You get to work with some great businessmen, business leaders. I mean, so there's a lot of pluses. But for me, it left me empty. I'm not going to say empty, but it wasn't that fulfilling anymore. I had done it. Let's see what else is out there, okay? So that was probably the driving force between me. That was the driving force behind me, pushing me to contact the U.S. Peace Corps, and then subsequently going on in to the U.S. Peace Corps and going to Mongolia. Now, back then, too, one of the things, you know, that's the reason. I mean, I've covered that. But now I'll give you a little more information. But back then, you didn't have internet access. So for me to, you know, when I finally got the invitation, they asked me if I would accept a small business position in Mongolia, possibly teaching at a university. I knew where Mongolia was, but I sure as hell didn't know much about it. I mean, I promise you, I knew about that much, but probably less. I knew how to spell it. That's about it. And I went to the libraries, dug out all the stuff I could pick up, and finding stuff about Mongolia in libraries in this area of Central Texas. I had to go to the University of Texas and go to the library there, and I still didn't find a hell of a lot. Mongolia, not too many people write a lot about Mongolia back then. Now now they have. But now on the internet, God, you can find everything you want. Not only that, you can actually converse with Peace Corps volunteers that are in country right now online. You know what I mean? And you get some real positive feedback about, you know, what's really going on. What's it really like? You know, don't let the Peace Corps blow smoke up your skirt, because, you know, they don't try to paint a rosy picture. They don't paint a picture at all. You know, you want to go to Mongolia? Yeah, okay. You know, they send you some, you know, or they did back then. They send you a little demographic information, you know, a little history of the country, but not much. It's just a few sheets. You can read it in 30 minutes. But now, with the advent of the internet and all the stuff that's there, God, you'd have you'd be inundated. You know, would I recommend you doing it as a physician? Yeah, if you're so inclined. I don't know how old you are or what your background is or whatever. Or if you like outdoors or you like to go camping and stuff like that. Uh, one of the things they say in the Peace Corps, and they're going to hammer you with this even today. Be flexible, be flexible, be flexible. Well, let me tell you, you better be damn flexible because you're going to end up in a country that you feel like you were Alice in Wonderland and fell down the rabbit hole. I don't care where they send you. I mean, Thailand is good. Thailand would be good duty. I met some of the volunteers that had been to Thailand. They really liked it. And the accommodations are not much better than Mongolia, but the climate's so much better. I mean, you don't have to worry about freezing to death in the winter. You're close to the equator, so you're in pretty good shape there. And that's something you might want to consider is, because the Peace Corps really doesn't pick the country that you go to. They do in a sense. In other words, you give them all the information about yourself that they request. Then that information is sent to countries that need your skills. And then those countries decide whether they want you or not. Okay, that's done in country. Then you get an invitation from that country, or maybe two if you're lucky. I had an option to go to some part of Africa, and I really wasn't too excited about that at the time because I just thought Mongolia might be better for me. And it turns out it was okay. So if you're thinking about the U.S. Peace Corps, I think it is a great, great, great experience. One you will never forget. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 70 years old. I mean, I still think about it today. The only thing that keeps me from going back now is I'm contented in my life. I don't have any empty spots to fill anymore. As far as travel and adventure, I still have those desires, but I would like to keep those within certain bounds, so to speak. I don't want to go back to a country where I'm going to have terminal diarrhea and end up with a major health problem for the rest of my life. And not now. You start getting a break a bone, and a lot of things can happen. And it's not the safest duty in the world because some of the people in the country don't like you. I guarantee you, it's just like anywhere else in the world. When you're a traveler, you're just a traveler. That's all. And you're kind of a target. But, as a physician, you'll probably have, the Peace Corps would probably, you'd have a lot of options probably in the healthcare area, if that's what you're in, I'm not sure, or other areas. And I would recommend you at least start the process if it's something you think you might be inclined to do. The worst thing that could happen is on down the trail when you get a offer to go to a country, you say, I don't want to do that. Okay, fine. That's the end of that shit. They don't care. You just stop. But once you sign up, it's a 2-year commitment, and it is a 2-year commitment. But if something happens, you can come home. They call it ET, early termination. It's not a big deal, and and that happens fairly often. A lot of people get in country and develop an illness or a problem that they didn't have when they went in country, but because of the living conditions, it was exacerbated, and next thing you know, they're back in the good old USA. So, but again, with the internet, you can find out all the stuff you want. You can see it live and in color. Hell, so you'll be able to make what I call an eyes open decision. And mine was kind of in the dark, but they opened up in Mongolia. They damn sure did. When we flew into Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, on Miat Airlines, Mongolia International Air Travel, with chickens in the aisle. Not really. There were some animals, but not a chicken, I would think. Anyway, you're going, uh-oh, what have I? And then you're flying in, and you fly over mile after mile of nothing. Okay? Yeah, but anyway. Enough said. Motivation, filling a vacuum. Realization, culture shock. Anyway, thumbs up, adios, carpe diem, bye-bye. Enjoy your day. Good luck to you.